I have to confess, you're not perfect, but you're much better than Mike. I don't mind you as much.
Is that a compliment?
No, you're a Mets fan, so I figure you're kind of an idiot when it comes to baseball, just like I am.
At least we won the World Series in the last 100 years.
Funny guy.
Truthful.
How's Al Davis doing? Oh. Question is, are they better with him gone or if he was still alive?
Let's move on.
So what happens when you get senile and old? It's sad. They went from winning 3 world championships and being a model franchise to being a joke franchise.
Same as the Bears.
It's been about the same length of time.
Exactly.
All right, are you ready? It's Q&A time. And remember, everyone, if you want your questions answered, make sure you submit them to our Twitter. Our Twitter handle is @OffTheRopeShow. And if it's your first time checking out OTRS Central, make sure you subscribe. I think it's down below now, actually. I used to say up above. At W. Rain Foster, how do you guys think the Cubs can end the curse this year? And Schleg Daddy, I noticed you said move Starlin Castro to center field. Why? He's a great shortstop.
Maybe if they start calling themselves the Angels, they could actually win the World Series. I'm not sure, but it isn't going to be in this. It isn't going to happen this year.
No, nor should it. This is a team that was so fundamentally bad in so many areas, and their farm system was a joke, that they truly needed to rebuild from the bottom up. I'm still not 100% convinced Theo Epstein was the right man for the job. Keep in mind that the real reason, Cub fans, if any of you are actually watching this, which apparently W. Rain Foster you are, the real reason Theo Epstein was brought in was to distract, so that way for some damn reason the Ricketts family could sit there and try and get $300 or $350 million to remodel that dump of a ballpark that is Wrigley Field, a relic that's a beer garden that they don't freaking win at. And furthermore, when you look at Theo, by bringing him in, it allowed them to save a shit ton on payroll over the next 4 or 5 years. You're looking at the $25 million they invested in Theo Epstein's contract could potentially bring them $200 to $300 million in payroll savings over 5 years. It was an incredibly smart business decision. But was it the right baseball decision? I don't know. Castro to center field. And the reason I said move him to center field, he's not a great shortstop. Defensively, he's got moments where he lapses in the field. You've got Baez down on the farm. And, you know, the assumed position for him is either shortstop or third base. Let's assume he works out and he could be a major league shortstop. Well, you have Castro already playing short. You've already got him locked into a long-term deal. You take him and you move him into center field where you really don't have any options at this time in the farm system except maybe Albert Almora, who's probably 2 or 3 years away. You know, you're avoiding that logjam. You could end up moving Baez to third base, but they need to move one of these two guys now, either Castro at the major league level or Baez at the minor league level. You want to talk about the R.A. Dickey deal?
No. Tired of talking about the Cubs. Let's go on to the next question.
It's Stephen Toth, 18. If you were to bring back the King of the Ring pay-per-view, who would you have win it and why? Like if they had it this year, who's the one guy you would have win it?
Oh, boy. This is tough. There's a lot of them that is kind of deserving, you know, and probably could use the push.
Cesaro would be one.
You can make an argument for Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
You know, a lot of guys could use that push because back in the day when you won the King of the Ring, it moved you on to bigger and better things. A lot of guys could probably use that push right now.
Sandow, my boy Antonio Cesaro. Shit, if you wanted to, you know, get him back up there, you could throw Randy Orton in there. There you go. Doesn't that feel better? What's one match you wish you could have seen live?
Ooh, ouch. The Chicago match between Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat. That's probably mine. Close second would be The Undertaker and Mankind Home. So,
if I had to pick one that I could have seen in person, I'll take the easy way out, and I'll say Hogan versus Andre WrestleMania 3 in person. And that would have been an entirely different experience. At Anything Goes Show WWE, these guys want to know if we were to repackage Ted DiBiase and shoot him up to the main event, how would we do it?
Have him win the King of the Ring. I suppose that'd be a good start right there.
I really liked when they were having him do that DiBiase posse. Yeah. And they were making him a man of the people. He needs to be a babyface. He has the look of a babyface. He just works better as a babyface to me. He needs to be a babyface. You make him a common man, a man of the people, and you start having him win some freaking matches.
How many times did they actually show him with the people?
Once.
And how many people were there?
A lot.
There you go.
Just saying. At Luis Roulette, your thoughts about The Rock being the WWE champion and not making appearances?
I think it's horse shit. He's a WWE champion. The champion should be on TV.
But I'm sorry, but I don't agree with that, because I've said the same thing. Like when Punk's champion or Cena's champion, isn't it okay for like once every 6 weeks if the champion doesn't appear? It helps protect their appeal and doesn't overexpose them. Gives us a break, makes them feel like a bigger deal. I don't think The Rock missing one damn show is a big deal. I applaud it. In fact, I would say the same thing if they would have done it with Punk or if a Cena or somebody else. Once,
I could agree with that. However, if it starts turning into a 2-3 week period that the WWE champion is not on TV, you cannot agree with that.
That I don't. But 1 week, I think it's a tremendous overreaction, especially if he's going to be on the Raw before Elimination Chamber, then the Chamber, then most of the Raws leading up to Mania.
Fair enough.
I mean, so at Danya Todd 18, what match would you want to see more? HBK versus The Rock with both of them in their prime, or Rock versus Triple H versus Stone Cold Steve Austin all in their prime?
I'd go Rock and HBK easily.
I don't really like triple threats, but since this is the one triple threat that everybody's like, then you really got at a Mania or something, Rock versus Triple H versus Stone Cold, just to be different. At John Vente Kid. Who are maybe 5 to 10 stars of today that remind you the most of stars from the past? We'll go with like 5. Got anybody in mind?
Stars from the past, huh? AJ Styles kind of reminds me of an old school guy. He could pass for kind of a Ricky Steamboat type dude.
Smaller version, perhaps.
Smaller version.
I'll throw in one. I'll say Dean Ambrose reminds me a lot psychologically and on the mic of a cross between a little bit of Piper but an awful lot of Brian Pillman.
Sure.
His ring style reminds me a little bit more of Piper in the sense that it's kind of herky-jerky and very physical, and I'm actually a big fan of it. Who else we got?
Wow. This is a tough question. This one isn't easy.
CM Punk will get some comparisons probably to Jericho.
Is Jericho that much of an old school guy?
He's a guy from the Attitude Era.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Oh, man.
For some reason, you get like Dolph Ziggler, Shawn Michaels comparisons, which I'm sorry are completely ridiculous.
Yeah. At this point in time, you cannot make that comparison. But people will make that comparison.
If you're going to make the comparison to like 1992-93 Shawn Michaels when he was early on in his singles heel run, maybe. But I mean, they were comparing Jomo to him at some point in time. Jomo was more Jeff Hardy than he was. I'll say Seth Rollins reminds me of Jeff Hardy. Even though they don't seem to think that's a good thing. If I was a wrestler, if I had Jeff Hardy's
I'd love to have those comparisons. I mean, look at the title runs he's had.
It's just, it's hard to say. Ryback, Goldberg.
Oh, yeah, Oh, that one's easy.
John Cena, a more well-spoken Ultimate Warrior.
At times.
Sorry, it's just what it is.
Yes.
At Hardcore Glen X, what are your thoughts on Paige? And why is she still in NXT? She should be on the Raw roster right now. Does it really matter if they bring up any divas?
I mean, was there even a divas match the last maybe 2 weeks on Raw? Maybe.
If I remember correctly, I don't think Paige is 21 yet. So there might be a legal reason why they haven't brought her up yet.
Possibly, I don't know.
Okay, but even if they bring her up, yeah, I'm a fan of hers, and I think she could do a lot of good, but what's the WWE going to fucking do with her? I'm not trying to be a smartass here, but I'm being serious. What is that? We thought Karma was going to be the big game changer. Look at how that worked out. That's not really in WWE's control, mind you, but still.
They got Caitlyn for crying out loud as their champion. They haven't done anything with this Divas division recently, and they probably won't in the near future.
Right. At Mike Adam Smasher, what do you think is the greatest match that never happened?
Greatest match that never happened? Wow. Ooh. Good question. Probably Hogan Flair at a WrestleMania.
And I'll take Hogan and Austin at a WrestleMania.
There you go.
And there are others you could throw out there. Maybe Kurt Angle versus Bret Hart.
Sure.
I mean, that would be a phenomenal masterpiece of technical wrestling. But in terms of big money drawing matches, that would be.
Yeah.
I think those are 2 right there. At Carlito SP, have you watched the Hulk Hogan sex tape? And if you did, how much black lesbian porn did it cost you?
No, I have not, and it didn't cost me a thing. How about you?
No, I did not watch the Hulk Hogan sex tape, nor do I intend to, because I already know how it's going to happen. He's not going to stay on his back for more than 2 seconds at a time, as he should. And how much black lesbian porn did it cost me? I wouldn't give up any black lesbian porn for that. I'm
not
sorry.
Even one? You can lose one.
Not if it has Jada Fire in it, dude.
Okay, fair enough.
She gets excited and her titties are big and she like squirts and makes pee-pee. But like the good type of pee-pee.
How can you give that up?
Amen! She likes 2 things that I really like. She likes black women, and I know she likes me. She likes the white dick.
Okay, let's move on.
At Shy Rage 5, or Shirage V, something like that. I hope one of them was right. If you could face a current WWE talent at WrestleMania 29, who would you pick and why? You.
Me?
Yeah.
Who would I face?
I think you and Brodus Clay could have a 5-star classic. Who would you face at WrestleMania 29 if you had to pick one guy you'd want to face? Why?
Randy Orton.
Why?
Because that way I could beat him and I wouldn't have to cheer for him anymore. I could cheer for myself.
Nope, doesn't work. Doesn't work. I find that kind of creepy that you want to wrestle the guy with the baby oil and the sleeve tattoos and the raging ring boners. I think it's because you want to get him in a bear hug.
It has nothing to do with that. I just want to beat him so I can be done with him.
And you want him to bear hug you with his ring boner.
No, I just want to beat him.
If I had to face a current talent at WrestleMania 29, hey.
Caitlyn?
Layla. In a baby inside her belly match.
Oh my God.
That's right, bitch. You can get right on top of me. 1, 2, 3. Pow! Baby in your belly. Either way, I win. Doesn't matter. At Justin Peck 3. So you want to wrestle a man and I want to wrestle a hot Moroccan chick. All right. Very good. Last question. At Justin Peck 3. What is the best Mr. Bob Backlund match? Thank you, Justin Peck of the Tree of Woe Show, for this phenomenal question. What is the best Mr. Bob Backlund match for me to watch, as I am a young, naive, and ready-to-learn wrestling fan?
Well, is he talking the Mr. Bob Backlund era or the Bob Backlund era?
We just refer to him as Mr. Bob Backlund.
Okay, well then, how about the Diesel match when he lost the belt in like 10 seconds? For the Mr. Bob Backlund era. But if you want to go back, if you really want to go back, and you want to see a classic Bob Backlund match, go back to the Jimmy Superfly Snuka Steel Cage match that he had in MSG. Now that was a classic. I rooted for Jimmy Snuka I wanted him to win so bad, but he didn't. But, so, anyway.
You know why he didn't? Because he wasn't Mr. Bob Backlund. Now, as far as this great man and 2013 WWE Hall of Famer, every match, Justin, that's the correct answer. But if you want it narrowed down specifically, I will point you to 2 matches. Number 1, his first time winning the WWF title against Superstar Billy Graham.
That was bull.
It was not bull.
His foot was on the rope.
It was not.
It was.
Bullshit.
It was.
Bullshit.
Watch it yourself.
You watch it. The second one, Mr. Bob Backlund versus Bret the Hitman Hart at Survivor Series 94 when he won the WWF title and became a 2-time champion.
That was a schmaz, too.
It was a schmaz of great awesomeness.
Okay, if you say so.
But if you want the real honest answer, it's every single match that he ever had, Justin.
Even the Diesel match.
We don't count that.
It counts.
It doesn't. You know what doesn't count? You don't count.
1, 2, 3.
You know what I hope? I hope Mark Henry's back to win the World Heavyweight Championship.
I don't have to cheer for him.
Oh, you're going to have to watch him. I get smoky on you. Anyways, thanks for tuning into this Q&A. If you have questions that you want answered, submit them to our Twitter. Our Twitter handle is @OffTheRopeShow. Give us a follow on there, too. And make sure, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel down below.
And tell your friends about it, too.
Yes, lots more great content, if it's easy for me to say, coming here on OTRSCentral. I'm the Schleg Daddy, and this jabroni is...
Metal D.
See you next time.